I can finally update my Pokemon Unite item tier list because I was waiting for the mobile release. I thought there were going to be major balance changes to the items because Buddy Barrier is unacceptably broken, but they added a few more new ones, so it looks like waiting actually paid off in the end. I do it in like mid-September when no one's playing the game and no one's waiting for mobile, then it just becomes immediately invalidated, so we get to talk about the best items in the game right now, and the items that you should be prioritizing with your level 30 super enhancer, or also just all the AOS tickets and item enhancers that you're going to be getting through all the events and gameplay and stuff like that. So if you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and please share this video with all your friends. If you know anyone that plays Pokemon Unite, send this video their way because one of the biggest causes of player frustration is wasting item enhancers, and many people just outright quit the game because now they're stuck with worthless items. So don't let this happen to you. Don't let this happen to them. Let's get into it. So I want to start at the top. I want to talk about the must-pick items, then I want to talk about the worst items, and we'll fill it in from there. So must-picks: Buddy Barrier and Focus Band. I don't know how these items didn't get nerfed. Focus Band need to have a couple of percent taken off because, wow, getting 30% of your health back in an item is pretty much more value than anything else. And then Buddy Barrier, highest flat health in the game, and it gives you and an ally 40% bonus health when using a Unite move. Here's the thing about Pokemon Unite: Dreadnought and Zapdos are the game. So at that last Zapdos fight, if 5 people have Buddy Barrier on one team and 4 have Buddy Barrier in the other team, the team with 5 wins. It's just too much health. 80% health to chew through. Nothing is going to make up for that, or no other item is going to make up for that. And then like second Dreadnought, Rotom, other team fights, it gets too crazy. Like the Unite move usage is very powerful, and then Buddy Barrier just kind of takes that to a new level. Focus Band, it's not about the defensive stats, plus 20 defense doesn't really matter. It's just that, yeah, you're getting so much health, and it's also really good for the early fighting. It's going to give you a lot of safety for Center A-Palm and Audino secures in the early game. Also, you might just survive a gank, so you put the enemy jungle behind. Yeah, these are the must-pick items. It's like 100% grab these items, and then you just kind of have like a third slot to do stuff with. However, I believe the introduction of new items has been very successful because it's no longer, oh, you 100% go Buddy Barrier plus Focus Band, because I feel that if you're running a melee attack focused Pokemon, Razor Claw is a must pick. It is insane, and it also is one of the very few items, it might be the only other item that competes with Focus Band, that you actually have a choice to make between Focus Band or Razor Claw on a melee focused Pokemon, and then you can run like some kind of other third item. We're going to get into that more, but this is where the game gets crazy. And if you're running the Razor Claw, that's when you want to run the Scopelands. So now we can talk about what you want to upgrade to level 30 first. Buddy Barrier, 200 flat health, every Pokemon, still a 100% pick, didn't get nerfed. So yeah, just do that. Keep in mind, it's probably getting nerfed in the future, but if you get Master Rank, then that means you're going to be getting 2,000 item enhancers or 20,000 AOS tickets. So you're going to have another item to level 30. Also with all the other tickets, events, bonuses, incentives, other things going on, you're probably going to have like 5 items you can take to level 30. So even nerf Buddy Barrier at level 30 is fine. Don't upgrade Focus Band. So let's hop on over to unite-db.com so we can talk about items and how you spend your item enhancers before progressing in the tier list. I just want this kind of be a catch-all, cover-all, ultimate item guide for Pokemon Unite. So just think, what do you get from upgrading Focus Band to level 30? Well, all of its power is packed into the level 20 passive, so you're getting 10 defense, 10 special defense. No value, it's worthless, absolutely no point. Same thing with things like attack weight. So if you're just getting a small amount of flat stats, no point upgrading it past level 20. However, Buddy Barrier, 200 health for free. Yeah, that's a must. And same thing for Scopelands. Like, you don't find crit. So because crit is so hard to come by, that extra 2% really matters, and it can make the difference in some kind of skirmish. If you're attacking a wild Pokemon, and then you just kind of fight in the early game against an entire team for a while and you're threading in auto attacks, yeah, that 2% might be the reason why you get that crit and then win the fight, so it can be very important. Also, it's just like one of the most raw DPS increases that matters in the game, because Now, it does depend on the Pokemon you're playing, because if you're playing exclusively mages and like Lucario, Zeraora, Absol, Talonflame, like any of the AD Pokemon, if they don't really appeal to you, then yeah, you don't need to upgrade Scopelands, you don't need to upgrade Razor Claw, but if you are playing those Pokemon, then like someone like Lucario, completely viable moveset is Buddy Barrier, Scopelands, Razor Claw, so all those level 30, you get that for free because of the new Super Item Enhancer, you're good to go. You're just going to rock out for a while, and if someone takes your Lucario, still viable on many other Pokemon, but still Focus Band, I'm still putting like, it's S tier. S tier is kind of like must pick-ish, and then high priority is going to be the Scopelands, as long as you're pairing it with the Razor Claw, and then that's creating like this weird dynamic of sacrificing Focus Band pressure. But then if you're doing this, again, it's overall catch-all guide, and we're going to be here for a while because we're talking about all the items. This is where item theory gets really interesting, and this is where I'm just like kind of getting a lot of theory craft and game analysis down and trying to really understand the game at the highest level possible, which is why I want to pass this information on to you. So Focus Band has the massive advantage early on because you're just getting more health back. That a Pokemon, by the time it's level 4, so let's just pull up a random example, Cinderace. So Cinderace, level 4, level 3, you're fighting over the Cinder Pokemon, or you're at Vespiquen at that point, you're going to have 3,100 health. Well, also, now it's going to be like 3,700 because of Buddy Barrier, and then you get roughly 30% of that back because of the Focus Band. Now, Focus Band has its own, like, weird interactions and stuff. It seems to have, like, the amount of damage you took in some kind of period of time. So if you go, like, leave a fight at 50% health, you don't heal up, and then you go back into it, then you're only healing for that 20% from the 50% to the 30% at low health when Focus Band activates. So that's the thing, but, like, let's just say you go from 100% health down to, like, 25% health, you're going to be healing for 1,000. No amount of RNG critting and bonus damage is going to make that up. So Focus Band has the advantage. If you're not running Focus Band and you're running all crit and you see Focus Band activate on your opponent, do everything you can to get out of the fight, and then you have the advantage for the next 90 seconds, because the 20 defense special defense doesn't really matter. So now you have that chance to crit them, you have that chance to outplay them. So if you're not running Focus Band, your goal is to burn the opponent's Focus Band. If you have Focus Band, then your goal is to all in while it's available, while you have the massive hit point advantage. So again, item theory, very important, but overall, like, every Pokemon wants this, except for, like, very specific brawlers and other Pokemon. That goes in, like, guides and other things, but overall, this is a good place to put your item enhancers, and it's a good way of breaking down the game. Going back to the item enhancers again, yeah, just, like, look at stats. You know, Floatstone isn't going to do it. Muscle Band, maybe, because attack speed is, like, a unique stat, but Muscle Band isn't really getting picked until Buddy Barrier gets nerfed, because Buddy Barrier, Scopelands, Razor Claw is just better than Muscle Band can do for any Pokemon. Shell Bell, not worth it. Energy Amplifier, not really worth it either. So, yeah, we're just kind of, like, gonna sit back and get more into this. So that's where we are right there. Now let's talk about the worst item in the game, Score Shield. If you think Score Shield is good, this is your intervention to tell you that you are a bad player. Score Shield is an objectively bad item. It does not work with anything inside the game right now. It doesn't give you any of the benefits that people keep on touting when it's like, well, the top 100 players use it, and you get experience, and you get health. But you're also not talking about the drawbacks. It's not free to walk to the opponent's half of the map and then put a score down. You're giving up experience instead of falling back, taking Core Fish, being faster on your lane Pokemon timings and stuff. Also, you're overextending. So even if you get that health, well, now you're just going to get bullied on the way back, offsetting that health gain, so you're still going to need to use the Citrus Berry, you still might need to back, so it's not going to give you any tempo. It actually loses tempo, because it costs time to go to that side of the map and then score. Also, you just get ganked and then die, and Buddy Barrier isn't even a guarantee. Like, yeah, if you have less than 10 and you're just, like, insta-scoring, fine, but you can pretty much score. Like, it makes it slightly more reliable, but anything above that, it's not a guarantee. But because you have Score Shield, the only way you can feel that you're getting value out of that item is by scoring. And if you're not scoring, then you're not getting value. Therefore, it's just a wasted item slot where anything else would just be way better for you. So that's what I mean. It kind of creates a bad mentality. It forces bad scoring. Now, even if you're making good strategic decisions, you're not inting on the Score Shield just because you have Score Shield, it's still a bad item because it provides no gain just in the game in general, and we're going to keep breaking this down. So, Dreadnought, Zapdos, as I mentioned, those are the game. Buddy Barrier doesn't give you any passive stats for that, so pretty much every other item is going to put you, or like the opponent having any other item, puts you at a disadvantage, or having Score Shield is a hindrance for your team on Dreadnought, Zapdos, and other fights and skirmishes, and that's kind of it. Also, scoring doesn't matter because of Zapdos. If you're thinking like, oh, my Score Shield is the only reason I scored 100 points, congratulations. That means while you were backdooring, which means you don't need Score Shield, your team is in a 4v5, they lose the 4v5, you lose Zapdos, they score 300 to 500 points, your 100 points doesn't matter, game's over. Congratulations, you single-handedly cost your team the game. Now, I've also seen people say, well, you're a hypocrite, Verlisify, because in your first tier list you said that Score Shield is a situational item that could get some good usage. Here's the thing, the game changes. That video came out in the first couple of days, and since then, Dreadnought and Zapdos have literally only become more important with each passing day. The Dreadnought timing has gotten so crazy that people are rotating with 7 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. They aren't, like, they just take, they don't, actually, they're still leaving up APOM and Corphish in some situations. Like, they just go, nothing here, time to go down to Dreadnought. Maybe we, like, 5-man push them in on their goal, and then we rotate for Dreadnought or something. So, yeah, like, if you're staying for until 7 minutes 30 or 7 minutes 20 to score, first off, in skilled play, if you're going up against actual good players that aren't brain dead, they're not going to be there. They're already going to be beating down your team over at bot lane, so you don't even, like, the Score Shield does nothing there. Like, that's, with or without Score Shield, you're still making that score, but it's kind of troll because you're not there for your team. And God forbid, you actually take second Vespiquen top and then try to score that top. By then, Dreadnought's gone and your team has already lost the fight and just completely over from there. So, it doesn't do anything. Again, it encourages bad behavior, and you just need to be with your team, and Score Shield isn't about being with your team. And also, even in the late game, it's not a guarantee of 100 points or 50 points or a score or 40 points or anything like that, because I've seen many times that Blastoise uses its Unite move with Buddy Barrier, still gets knocked out of Score Shield. Same thing with Crustle. Very possible. So here's how Score Shield works. Only trash players use it to beat up on even worse players than that. Like, if you're a bad player and you chase a Crustle around the map instead of just taking Zapdos while it's a 4v5 or even a 3v5 or something weird like that, yeah, then that means you're only winning with Score Shield because the players you're going up against are irredeemably bad. Hey guys, post-production Verlis here. I had an amazing thought about Score Shield while editing the video that proves why it's bad and also provides counterplay to Score Shield. Here's how you beat Score Shield. Ignore it. Because Score Shield only has value when the person with Score Shield is getting hit to get knocked out of it. Now, this doesn't mean if you see someone strolling up while you're at goal to go and score, that you just let them score. If someone's just running it into your goal, yeah, it's really easy to break the Score Shield and knock them out of the score, which again, just kind of means that they have a 0 value item pretty much the entire game, or in every circumstance, but that's then, like, just don't chase someone. It's like, okay, they're going to go and run their Score Shield thing, or they blow their Unite move just to score 50 to 100 points, you turn that around as a team. You win the 5v4, and then you push as a team into a goal. The Score Shield is very counter-scoreable, and whatever the opponent's team is losing by having that one-member backdoor when backdooring has 0 value in the current state of the game, that can just be made up for with other objectives, tempo, Zapdos, or anything like that. At the end of the day, an individual scoring 100 points in Pokemon Unite doesn't really matter, even if that person has like 170 because they've been doing cheeky scores the entire game. But that's the thing, like, you ignore them, you let them do that thing, and then you're destroying his teammates so much that they don't get the opportunities to score. They don't get the opportunities to have an even fight or an even game, and then the score is going to be something like 600 to 282, and then the person with Score Shield's like, well, I did all the scoring. I scored 70% of the points of my team. I just had a bad team. No, Score Shield is only a throw. And then, like, sometimes it's not even worth throwing cooldowns. Like, if you see them walking up with 12 points, just let them score the 12. It doesn't matter because Zapdos is worth 500 anyways. It's not going to determine the game. So you wait for them to land from their score, and then they're going to be standing still, so you get free crowd control on them. So, again, offsetting the hit points, and if you KO them, then that also offsets the experience. You get to take their camps now, and then you get tempo back. So Score Shield just provides nothing, ever. If Dreadnought gets nerfed, if Zapdos gets nerfed, if mid-game scoring ends up mattering, spoiler, right now it doesn't, then yeah, Score Shield becomes a little better. But now, Score Shield is even worse. Like, anyone playing Score Shield post-mobile update, objectively garbage at the game. Because now with these new items that have been introduced, again, Buddy Bear, Focus Band are kind of musts, and then, like, you need to be running that. So Lucario, that's giving up the Razor Claw for the Buddy Barrier, is only costing their team the game. So there was no reason to run it before, and now there's even less reason because of all the new good items. So let's talk about the new good items, and once again, we have a must pick, but for special attackers, because Choice Specs is just out of control. Free flat damage on ability casts, and then it scales with your special attack while giving you special attack. And then because of like the shenanigans on optimization and efficiency on Wise Glasses, yeah, Wise Glasses, it's a whatever move, we're going to get into that. But Choice Specs, like, this is what Pikachu needed. This is what Ralts Laning needed. This is what now undoes the Whirlpool nerf for Cramorant. This is your third item must pick for special attackers because of the raw damage that it provides. Also, that special attack scaling still really nice. And then that's where it gets weird, where it's like, okay, you get rid of the Focus Band on certain situations because Focus Band doesn't really do anything while it's on cooldown, so if you can play around that and you're like a long-range artillery mage, or you have crowd control, or you're just really good on your character, then you think you can get away with it. Wise Glasses synergy with Choice Specs is pretty crazy, but then that's when we also get into the weird numbers, Wise versus Specs. I don't know how that goes with the, okay, special attack specs, not Choice Specs. So special attack specs versus Wise Glasses, that's what this looks like. So like 3 scores put you ahead of Wise Glasses. But I don't know what that means for Choice Specs now. So I think like Choice Specs, Wise Glasses, because then that 7% scales into Wise Glasses itself too. I don't know. Starts getting weird, starts getting ugly, and that's why it's like Wise Glasses is situational, but it's also meh. Because if we refer to this, Wise Glasses is only good on Cramorant maybe, and now that Surf got nerfed, I don't know where that lands, and they also nerfed the Unite move, so I don't know where that lands. Gardevoir, yes. Gengar, yes, because they have such high flat special attack values that they actually get more out of it than scoring with the specs, and scoring isn't even guaranteed. So, weirdness. And then, like, Mr. Mime is no, use specs instead. Especially, like, as a support, you can push them away and then, like, do a quick little score because you shouldn't be last hitting or... What? The game's weird, guys. That's a big takeaway right now, is that the game is weird. So that kind of puts, like, this into situational, but it's also still meh. Because then that's where we get into other high priority items, like the Assault Vest. Assault Vest is just value. Assault Vest is just cash, money, health in the bank. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, well, you go Buddy Barrier, Focus Band, Assault Vest, and now your tanky Pokemon is disgusting because the flat hit points here, the flat hit points here, that synergizes into this. You have the shield here, and you're just doing absurd things. I wouldn't say it's as must pick as some of these other items and the new items and stuff, but very high priority, very high consideration, especially if Specs starts getting out of control. Well, then this is kind of like your counter pick even on a mage, that a Pikachu with Assault Vest is going to have more advantage in lane against the Pikachu with the Choice Specs. So now we're going to go off on another tangent to explain some items. Again, long-winded video, but it will make you a better player. So 66 special attack scaling on the Electro Ball. Thunderbolt is like 50% into 61%, and then Thunderstorm is like 49%. So Pikachu actually has very low scaling. I think it starts getting worse for Pikachu to run a special attack item, and just better if Pikachu survives because of Assault Vest, and then gets a second ability rotation. And even if it's not like direct, oh, it's getting double DPS because it's surviving, if Pikachu just survives long enough to get another 30% DPS, it's already outperforming Choice Specs, so things to consider. Let's go back to Gardevoir because it's such a high damage, crazy special attacker. So, Psy Shock, 77%, but 3 instances of damage, so let's just say 200% special attack. Rounded up to 300 because of Moonblast. So Moonblast, all 3 hits of Psy Shock, you're getting 300% special attack scaling. Well, if we go to the items and we look at the actual value they provide, we have Wise Glasses at plus 39 special attack at level 30. You don't want to get it to level 30. So the difference is going to be 26 special attack to 39 special attack. All of those item enhancers give you 13 special attack. 14 because you're rounding up on that 7%, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, 14 special attack times 3. Assault Vest as an item already has 275% flat health in special defense. So again, like the special defense is going to cut a small amount of percent damage off of the specs, off of the base damage, off of the scaling, and then give you a 15% hit point shield. As we talked about, Pokemon health values and stuff, stats, Gardevoir health, level arbitrary, like 4,000 health, but 15% of that. You're getting a 600 health shield on top of 270 flat health, and then the mitigation of the special defense. No amount of specs is going to chew through that. No amount of ability rotations and scaling and other things is going to offset that. So you're just absorbing too much, and then it's refreshing so fast on the Assault Vest because you got a combat, you get it back. So you fall back to your goal, you get the goal shield, you get some healing, you get a citrus berry, you come back into it, and yeah, they can't break through that anymore. So Assault Vest is the counter pick to these shenanigans and also a weird item consideration, which makes it high priority. However, raw damage, like Buddy Barrier, Wise Glasses, Choice Specs, still viable, but again, that's when like you start getting into weird matchups because you are getting like 6% more of the opponent's health and damage, and sometimes that can make the difference, especially in like 2 ability rotations. Like if Cramorant gets Hurricane Surf, and then like that really hurts them, and then like everyone just kind of like waiting, standing off or something, or if that's like the little bit of extra damage that actually ends up mattering inside of a team fight or something because you're hitting multiple targets, so now you're getting multiple total health value inside of the team fight and all these other weird things, then yeah, like there is a argument for damage, but damage is like way undervalued. Like in other games, like yeah, building health, building tank stats always has more value, like in League of Legends, but in Pokemon Unite, tank stats are way more valued than anything else. So those are things to consider, which is why I also have like Aos Cookie in the situational to high priority, because if we're talking about percentages, we're talking about numbers. If you score 3 times, 600 max hit points. As we just showed, you get 600 hit points in the shield. Now it is regenerating, so it's easier to get the effective 600 hit points back from the Assault Vest, but it's only for special attack. You always have this, and it's going to be for everything on a flat 240 health, which is comparable to the Assault Vest, and if you manage to score more than that, then it scales even more, and it also synergizes with Buddy Barrier with Focus Band. So Focus Band, Buddy Barrier, Aos Cookie, very strong for the tankiness, and a compelling argument alongside the Assault Vest. So strong consideration there. Yes, I know I say that scoring isn't guaranteed, it also shouldn't be prioritized too much in the early game, but at the same time, like, even with a minimal amount of scoring, Aos Cookie is ridiculous, but it's not as ridiculous as everything else. So it's like, it's in between high priority and situational, which I guess makes it situational, because all these other items are so good, and must pick, and must use. So now we can start talking about the other items, and I'm going to talk about the bad items. These items, there's really no argument for their value. I know like weird strategies because I put situational for EXP shares, maybe people figured out, but that for experience doesn't really matter, and then messing up on the shared experience kind of doesn't really do anything. And even if like you're trying to do a 1-1-3 and cheesing out little bits of extra experience across the team, or if someone's just trying to like sit and hold in weird strategies, I don't know, it's just not good. Like again, now that all these other items exist, I mean, you're just going to get more value out of other Pokemon. Even like Blissey with Wise Glasses is going to be healing a good amount more. Or Eldegoss with Wise Glasses is going to be doing solid as well. So yeah, it's like, I don't think there's a place for experience share, because for experience per second, that doesn't really matter. Like, you might get a quicker level 1 fight in the game, and after that, it just levels out and doesn't really matter. So, doesn't really do anything. Rocky Helmet, I'm like wondering if Rocky Helmet slightly gets priority, because like it's just a mocked item, there's no reason running it. Defense is kind of hard to come by, but defenses don't scale like in League of Legends to where it's like, oh, 1 point of defense is 1% effective health. No, it doesn't work that way. 40 defense, which is what you're getting off of a Rocky Helmet, god, you should never like fully upgrade it. So like 30 defense off of a level 20 something Rocky Helmet because you accidentally misclicked. I think that's 2% physical damage reduction. And then the passive effect of Rocky Helmet is really weird. After absorbing enough damage, deal % damage based on your max hit points to nearby opponents. Well, that Pikachu isn't a nearby opponent. The Greninja isn't a nearby opponent. The Cinderace isn't a nearby opponent. So you're not really going to be getting off that % health damage, and it's 5% max hit points, but it's on 2-second cooldown, and it's only from 10% damage trigger in a single attack. So if you take 20% damage, well, you're only getting 1 instance of returning 5% damage if they're close. And if you take damage too quickly, you're not getting another one inside the cooldown, or if they do 8% damage, it's not activating at all. So it's not like, oh man, I trade 70% of my health to do 35% of their health back. It just doesn't work. It's a bad item. I don't even know. And that defense, even if physical attackers are popping off because of Razor Claw and Scopelins and all that, I don't think it mitigates enough damage. So like maybe this becomes a consideration, but again, it's like Focus Band, Buddy Barrier too strong, and then you just fight fire with fire. You bring your own Razor Claw to the fight and you see how it goes, or something like that. And then Shell Bell, again, much like with the Wise Glasses argument, it's like you find value elsewhere. If you have I think it was like a level 11 or a level 13 Venusaur with Shell Bell, you're healing like 500 or 600 every 10 seconds, and that's the killer of Shell Bell. It's on a 10-second cooldown. So once, maybe twice inside of a fight, you're going to be getting a 500-ish heal. Focus Band is just better. So if you're running Shell Bell instead of Focus Band, you're wrong. Objectively, don't do that. Focus Band just infinitely beats that out. The cooldown reduction doesn't really matter. Shell Bell, there's no value from getting it to level, like, okay, you're going from 16 special attack 24 from level 20 to 30. No. And that extra cooldown reduction doesn't matter, and it only matters if you have like 9% total CDR by wasting all of your enhancers to get Energy Amplifier and Shell Bell to level 30. It's trolling, it's bad, the stats aren't there, it doesn't matter. And then again, like, so Focus Band offsets that. But then like Aeos Cookie, you could just walk into the fight with a flat 1000 max hit points at Zapdos because you scored 5 times. So you already come in, which means you don't get bursted. Like, if you get bursted too much, you're not getting to that second Shell Bell rotation. What do? This causes you to survive, and that's just better than Shell Bell. Same thing on the Assault Vest. You have more effective health. So yeah, they're just better effective health items, which means, like, it's just bad. Like, Shell Bell doesn't do anything, and it doesn't work. And instead of that, you should just be running Choice Specs because the damage is insane. Now, I do consider Energy Amplifier situational, but also meh. Like, some of these other items, like, maybe they get consideration if these need to get nerfed. They need to get nerfed before any of the pre-mobile items have any kind of other viability, because, like, okay, Buddy Barrier, Focus Band, Energy Amplifier, I'd rather just always be online with one of these items, where it's just going to be better. Like, Zeraora, Machamp with Energy Amplifier, it's disgusting, but you don't even get it for, like, most of your Unite move, or you don't get any kind of follow-up. Like, Energy Amplifier, I was running it on Cramorant when I was first playing the game, and also back in the beta, because I thought it lasted for a while. Like, I go through my full Unite move, and then I get one Surf Hurricane with that 21% bonus damage, which is an insane amount. But no, like, you consider Blastoise, by the time Blastoise is done spinning, that's pretty much been 4 seconds. Like, maybe you get a Hydro Pump in there, and then it's only 21% more damage on Hydro Pump, but, like, that doesn't really matter or change anything. So now your 1300 damage Hydro Pump becomes a 1600 damage Hydro Pump, so you get 300% bonus damage outside of the bonus damage on your move, or on your Night move, and again, offset by other items and value and Buddy Barrier and just straight up absorbed. So yeah, and then it's only during your Night move, which you use 2 to 3 times per game, whereas you can use these to get ahead in lane. First Dreadnought before your Unite moves are online. Also Greninja, since it like sits on the Shuriken for so long and it jumps off. It sounds cool, and I feel like Zeraora might be the best user of it, but Zeraora is also the best user of this, so whatever. Same thing for attack weight. Attack weight was situational. And like, I considered Buddy Barrier Focus Band attack weight to be the go-to on Lucario. Even if you're not scoring, it's still going to be more raw attack than the Muscle Band. And like at 1 or 2 scores, you're just completely outpacing it on your scaling and whatnot. But now that other items exist and other combos exist, bad. And until Buddy Barrier get nerfed, like, oh man, you know what'd be really sick? Attack weight Scopelin's Razor Claw. Holy crap, that's the AD dream. Buddy Bear is always better. Buddy Bear is infinitely more value than the attack weight, even in that situation. Floatstone is a bad item. I feel like Muscle Band has been downgraded to meh, so I considered like attack weight better than Muscle Band. And it's weird because like attack speed, again, it's a unique stat, but plus 15 attack, plus 18 attack. So actually getting more from the attack weight, but there's no reason. Never get attack weight to level 30, because again, you're getting so few attack points. 6 for all those item enhancers. Doesn't matter. Pokemon have thousands of health. Doesn't matter. And then Muscle Band is just weird if you're getting roughly the same amount of attacks because it is such a small enhancer, and we don't know how attack speed works in the game with scaling and base attack speed and stuff, it's kind of messy. And then the remaining hit point damage also doesn't really matter because, again, it's all about team fighting at Dreadnought, it's all about team fighting at Zapdos, so if your team is also contributing damage, you're getting less value out of the muscle band progressively, and when they're at low health, it doesn't really matter. Also, all Pokemon base defenses, so not feeling that 3%, it's close to like 2.52% on certain Pokemon. Yeah, like, it helps with jungle clear, but a lot of Pokemon don't need it for their clear, especially now that Razor Claw exists. Like, you're just better off in all situations, so just bad item actually. And then attack weight actually scales and works on a lot of Pokemon. Now here's where things get weird. I talked about this in my last video where I just reviewed the new items. Weakness policy. It's either high priority and no one, like, it's either A+ tier item and it's going to take a second for people to realize that, or it's extremely situational on some Pokemon, but actually like one of their best item must picks. Like, I'm thinking Garchomp and Crustle. Like, Crustle especially on the weakness policy sounds insane. I saw someone say like Flail Snorlax because you're getting percent on top of like crazy attack scaling. Flail Snorlax is always troll. It's never good. You can't give up that crowd control and like the mobility potential for Snorlax like that. So don't do it. And Yawn just got nerfed and you shouldn't have been running Yawn anyway. So block, heavy slam, still the best. Weakness policy doesn't really do much for Snorlax, but like you want bruisery, attacking, brawlery kind of Pokemon. So Razor Claw only gives 2% crit chance. Now it does also give like the melee benefit and stuff, but Crustle's enhanced attack slows, and X-Scissor is just like the hardest of CC. So what you do is you use your Unite move, which is also giving you benefits as you're being attacked, and then Weakness Policy is just adding more attack into that as you're shell smashing, as you're going even crazier, and then you snowball inside of the fight. It's like having a snowballing item, but better inside of the fight, and you don't need to score with it or something, and it's just ridiculous. Problem is, Buddy Barrier too good. Do you give up the Focus Band for it? And then I think you still need to run Scope Lens. Like, Crustle, Weakness Policy, Buddy Barrier, Scope Lens. Razor Claw sounds awesome, but again, I don't think that 2% matters as much as like the just flat guaranteed damage. Like, they're hitting you, and you are getting that bonus damage. Crazy. Same thing with Garchomp. But Garchomp needs to stick to people, so Garchomp, what it wants to do is it wants to use an ability and then hit you with that, get bonus damage, slow, and have a chance to crit. So again, it gets weird and niche on Pokemon. Like, if Buddy Barrier gets nerfed, or if Zapdos gets nerfed, so like that final 5v5 Buddy Barrier fight doesn't matter as much, then it gets kind of interesting. And then we have Leftovers, which I'm at least putting it at meh tier, because I feel like maybe there's some kind of use for Leftovers that starts to make sense. And there's been like sometimes where it's like, oh, if you just like use this Pokemon and you hold out, it's kind of indefinite with the Leftovers. And now that like people are going towards these more damagey options, maybe you stuff them out with the Leftovers. So you like, you know, you just poke your head out, you try to go for some kind of steal or some kind of secure, and then like you just kind of stay buoyant with the Leftovers. But then it doesn't help you. Like, Leftovers gets bad in that score shield kind of way to where it's not helping you at Dreadnought. It's not really helping you at Zapdos unless like you win the Zapdos team fight, but you're at kind of low health, so you need to regen for a couple. I don't know. Maybe it is actually bad. Maybe it is a literally trolling item. Like, Score Shield definitely the worst item in the game. But yeah, it's like, the more you try to make a case for Leftovers, the worse it feels. I feel like there's something there, but even then you're not getting combat stats, and you might as well fight fire with fire, or all these other things I've been saying. So, there we go, guys. That is your Pokemon Unite item tier list for the mobile update. I'm tired. I did streaming, I've done other videos, and we're just going to keep at it. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, check out my playlist, subscribe, notifications, watch all my content to get better at Unite, because I'm doing all the deep analysis. Peace.